Okay? Why does it become very cool to be patriotic when India is playing cricket? I will stay in a rented apartment, so I have nothing to lose. I was brutal in this.
Hello and welcome to this very special conversation with Brut at Cannes. I have with us a very special guest, Anupam Kher, actor, director, author. Thank you so much, Mr. Kher, for talking to Brut.
So happy to speak to you at Cannes. And I said I would come to Cannes only when I have a film to sort of show it to the world. So I'm very happy to be speaking to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kher. I want to first off start with बस आने से पहले you had put out a video on social media. We had a quick chat about it as well. मन थोड़ा विचलित था. It was a little mixed feelings just before coming to Cannes with everything at the escalation happening at the border. My question to you is, it's hard to be a public figure and an actor and put yourself out there in terms of what you feel, especially which is happening at the border. We've had a lot of conversation on social media where people have demanded that actors who they love, public figures who they love, should be speaking up at this time. What is...
So I think any time if you're truthful to your emotions, then I think it shows. Before I was coming here, the video that I put, कि मन भारी है, because with any act of terror, innocent people lose their lives. And then with any action rightfully taken, soldiers lose their life. So there is somebody from the family which has left. So it was a little feeling of not a very complete joy, not because I was trying to hide this feeling of being part of it. Look, I'm representing my country. I'm representing my country for something good that I'm done. So it is for the country. And as far as your second part of the question, I think people have to take their own decisions. I don't like to judge people. Because when you judge people, you take away the possibility of an interpretation which people have.
It's a tumultuous time across the world where we're seeing more and more actors and public figures come out and speak or become perhaps political, right, in terms of taking a stand. Do you think
I don't agree with that statement. I think we are maybe actors, carpenters, doctors, engineers, journalists. We are civilians, we are Indians. So the stand taken is that of an Indian. Because I always say that the passport after your name, the next column is nationality. So I don't think it's because actors get written about and talked about. I genuinely believe that I have seen 62 war. I was 7 years old. I have gone through that whole phase of 65, 71. And I spoke up as a teenager. I spoke up in the early 20s. And I always speak up because that's the way I feel.
Do art and cinema have a role to play in bridging a gap between India and Pakistan? Why I ask you this is because we've had Pakistani actors come in India, gain recognition, be in Indian movies. Over the decades, a lot of Indian musicians and music artists have wanted to go to Pakistan and also have a big fan following. Cricket again is something which is quite common. When Virat Kohli, made his iconic 100, reached his iconic 100, we had people celebrating in Pakistan as well. I want to understand, how do you see this as a lens?
So I believe that the rules that we apply at our home should be applied to the country. You live in Delhi and your neighbor comes in your house and slaps your mother. And you say it's fine because he's my neighbor and neighbor ke saath humko pyar se dikhana chahiye. Will you do that? No. He tries and sort of misbehaves with your sister. No. He sort of anybody. So if that is not acceptable to an individual, then what anybody does to your country should not be acceptable. I feel that yes, it's a very right statement to make that art and everything goes beyond everything. No, it does not. When it's completely always violated. I was the first person who wrote to the terrorists in Dawn, Pakistani's Dawn paper when they shot down more than 56 innocent children. I genuinely felt, how could they do that? And it was printed on the front page of this thing, so I was sensitive enough. But when in Pahalgam, 26 Indians were killed brutally in front of their wives, and by choosing their religion, has any artist from the neighboring country condemned it? Has anybody condemned it? No. So goodness. अगर आपके घर पे अप्लाई नहीं होती है, तो अपने देश पे भी अप्लाई नहीं होती है. आपको कोई घर पे साथ वाले घर से आपको कोई गज़लें सुनाता है या आपको गीत सुनाता है, मगर misbehaves with your father, अगर वो लाठी से चलते हैं उसकी लाठी को किक कर देता है, आपको उसकी गज़लें और उसके गीत पसंद नहीं आएंगे. ये बात है. वरना तो हमारा दिल बहुत बड़ा है. हमने हमारी वजह से ही चलते थे. मैं अभी भी गुलाम हसन साहब का, गुलाम अली साहब का, मेहंदी हसन साहब का, कल मेरे यहाँ पर एयरबीएनबी में किसी ने गाना चलाया, फैन है. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू टेकिंग अ स्टैंड, यू कांट टेक ए पॉपुलर स्टैंड बिकॉज दैट विल मेक मी अनपॉपुलर विद माई सेल्फ. And my duty is first to be myself and not to say things which are popular with some people. I have great respect for artists from all over the world. I have great respect. I've worked with so many people all over the world. I've worked with some people from Pakistan also. But then I keep looking for one small tweet, one small reaction कि यार गलत हुआ. We are, in our history of Bharat, we have never attacked anybody first. Because it's easy for me to sort of say what you're asking me, yes. But when a lady who has lost her husband in front of her eyes, her life has changed for the rest of her life. So when a Jawan who is somebody's son, somebody's father, somebody's husband, when he is killed, it's, how can art compensate that? How can it do that? We have never made the first move. Never. And we will never make the first move. In any of the wars. Look at the Kargil war. When I think of Saurabh Kalia, the way he was butchered, and I saw he had written a check for his mother, and he said, मैं अभी वापस आऊँगा मेरे birthday पर. You know what came back? Gouged eyes, broken arms, broken limbs, and there was a picture recently 4 days back of Saurabh Kalia's aged mother with that check still in her hand. So at that time I can't think of, but we should allow people to sing. Let them condemn, no? Humanity has no religion. Humanity has no religion. So be human when it's happening in our country. Because I did my job when they killed 56 people, 56 innocent children in a school, gunned them down because they were part of some Sainik school or something.
Condemn what is wrong. Humanity has no religion and art cannot compensate for loss of life which happens. Just before we move to the cinema and movies, one last question on this which I wanted to ask you. We have a lot of young audience. They haven't seen India at war. Through your career and throughout your lifetime, you have seen India been at war, 62, 65, 71. What was it like? You were 10 years old the first time. Can you share with us anecdotes from that time?
We were staying in Simla, so as a children, we used to be told that there will be a siren, then you have to get into that ditch which you have on your own dug.
So you had dug it on your own,
outside,
like civilians had dug it
just,
on your own.
Civilians had dug it. There were home guards, there were civilian members, and then you had to put, I remember that you had to put this newspaper on black, first blacken the whole thing.
Your windows and homes.
Everything,
okay.
No diya, bagara, no nothing like that. And then the siren used to say everything is okay, then we used to continue the life, and people got used to it.
How long was this period?
China war, I think, was for whatever days that it went on. And then 65 war. I was 10 years old and the 65 war happened, which was very close to, Shimla is very close to border of the other country, enemy country. Then 71 war. 71 war, at least I was 16-year-old. Then I remember I joined NCC.
Okay.
Yeah, I joined NCC and I gave blood. There's a funny story about that. I was in, I think, college first year. I was very thin. I always say funnily that I was so thin that I could see through a keyhole with both my eyes. But I remember that major coming to my college first year and giving a wonderful speech. And I felt that my chest is swelling with the words that he was saying. And I also got into the bus which was taking us to a blood donation camp.
Okay.
So I remember the Jawan standing outside the bus. He said, looked at me, said, "Are you sure you want to give blood?" तो जज्बा वैसा था ना. और फिर, of course, 99 में जब कारगिल war हुआ, I don't think I am patriotic only at the time of, or I have the feelings of patriotism only at the time of war. Why does it become very cool to be patriotic when India is playing cricket, or when our players or when our sports people are winning gold in Olympics? Why do we want to sort of back India when things are happening? Not only with Pakistan, but with any country. When we reach final, there's a huge amount of things. So it's not, we don't have to wait for the war to feel all that. We feel that.
I'm going to shift gears to cinema. We're at Cannes. Do you think cinema has the power to spark world change?
I always believe that, yes, especially in India. Now there are so many other sources of entertainment. You have mobile phones, you have multiplexes, you have eateries, you have malls. But for a long time, say about 10, 15 years back, there was nothing of that. The only source of entertainment and change was through cinema. How will Rajesh Khanna's kurta will become important? The hairstyle of Shah Rukh Khan will become important. Everybody will propose to a girl the way he did it in Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge or Akshay Kumar. So I think cinema is, in India, very, very, very home-oriented. We make our actors, our brother or Chacha ji or Taya ji or mom, we relate it with our, hum aapke hain kaun is the prime example. They changed the system of weddings. Nobody used to that, or for that matter, kuch kuch hota hai or Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. All these people changed the way weddings happened. So that's, but having said that, the social message, if you are talking about, that is on an individual.
Okay.
How the hidden message is there. I don't think you can make films about message. Films are primarily entertainment. It's an industry. You invest so much amount of this thing. But in that, if somebody like Satyakam Dharmender was a person who believed in speaking the truth, or Shah Rukh was the person who said, I will only take the girl with me if the father agrees. So there is a message there. So it changes you, but nobody is, otherwise there's a book, there's a documentary, but it does change. When I see series of what happened during the World War, or what happened with all those things, 6 million Jews killed, etc. When I see of that, we see it as a humanity. When I see a film like Life is Beautiful, you see how a father engages his son, and it got all the Oscars, even though it was an Italian film, foreign language film, but it changes. Schindler's List changes. Upkar changed me. Manoj Kumar's all film made me, Manoj Kumar is responsible for feeling the way I feel, the way he spoke about Bharat. है प्रीत रहा की रीत फजा, मैं गीत वहाँ के गाता हूँ, भारत का रहने वाला हूँ, भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ. It does.
You walked the red carpet last night at Cannes.
Yes.
Your first time, how did it feel? Tell us a little bit about that.
कितने actors कितने बन जाए? I've done 400 and I'm now on my 550 films. But that small town boy in me is always excited. Even talking to you over here is fascinating. Walking on red carpet made me feel that the boy from Shimla has come a far, far place, you know. And that is, I think, my strength, to have that sense of wonder about things, you know. And watching the film. The cinema is really celebrated. I call it Mahakumbh of cinema.
Mahakumbh of cinema.
You know, so I think it's celebrated here. People from all, everybody is talking about creativity. We just finished with Waves, which was created in India, an amazing initiative by the government of India, Prime Minister Modi, INB, Ministry of Culture. How many millions of people came over? Whoever is important was there. So I think we are progressing towards something, but it was surreal, even though I've done so much work and Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Oscar-winning films. But it was wonderful to walk on the red carpet. Yes,
Wonderful to walk on the red carpet. I wanted to ask you, the last time India won the Palme d'Or was in 1946, 1956. After that,
Pathir Panchali.
Pathir Panchali, 1956. Why do you think we haven't won after that?
A lot of greater films have not won it. That does not make it... the tagline of my film is different but no less. We are showing our film in a market section. But that does not make... Tom Cruise's film was not in the competition section. So many other films are not there. But I think there is a language that the international films speak, which we do not maybe know as yet. But we are there. Payal Kapadia is in the jury, which is such a proud thing for us.
Of course.
Homebound is selected for the film, for the competition section, or one section, I don't remember it.
Right.
It will, I believe in change. It will happen. It will happen, but I don't have no idea why it has not happened.
Why it's not happened yet. You've worked on so many international projects. You've been part of New Amsterdam, Silver Linings Playbook, and a few others. What is the difference between, direction or working on international projects versus working back home?
Amazing amount of professionalism and sincerity.
How do you mean?
So, ours is still a star-oriented industry. Because then they have a point that we bring in the audience, so why shouldn't it be? But over there also I worked with Bradley Cooper, Mr. De Niro, so many people. Woody Allen I've worked with. I've worked with the whole team of whoever you are. But if the call sheet is at 5 o'clock, the driver will pick you up at 5 o'clock and you will be in the lobby of your hotel or of your apartment. That's amazing. And no actor is not trained. In India, there are so many actors. In fact, one of the reasons of opening my Actor Prepares was that I wanted to produce professional actors.
Okay.
Over there, even a bartender who has just one scene must have been a product of some drama school, some acting school. Now there is a professionalism coming in because corporates have come in.
Okay.
So there is you get a script. I have done out of 540 films, I don't think I got script for more than 40 films. The rest of the films, they were narrated.
Let me get this right. 540 films, you got scripts for only 40 films.
Maybe
rest
not
were all
even 40.
narrated.
Yes, rest were all narrated and we came up with some amazing films. Pre-production is unbelievable.
Okay.
Before you go onto the set, they are so fully prepared. Every department takes his or her job very, very, very seriously.
Any differences in shooting in the 90s versus shooting now? How has that changed for you?
It was more of a family atmosphere at that time. That's why our friendships of those times, we may not meet very often, but friendship with Salman, Shah Rukh, Akshay, Mithun Chakrabarti, Madhuri, Sri Devi, or so many other actors. People's name I'm not taking, I don't remember everybody. It was an atmosphere of great togetherness, bonding, because there were no distractions, there were no mobile phones, there was no vanity vans, and there were no managers, there were no PR companies. Now you have an entourage of people. I'm not complaining about it.
But it's changed.
But it has changed. That one-to-one connection is not there. So there was an element of humanness, which I don't think is as much as it was there.
Can we expect what is your next collaboration going to be? I know you're launching Tanvi The Great.
No, I'm already on to my next, because all these years I have been working on various films and various scripts. I've constantly tried to reinvent myself. I started as a 28-year-old actor for playing a 65-year-old. Then I wanted to break this myth of typecasting. So I did Khosla Ka Ghonsla, I did Dr. Dang and Karma. I did my English language film, even though I don't think in English, I think in Hindi. So I did all these films that you named, Bend It like Beckham. I have worked on a script as a director. The name is The Return. It's an Indo-Australian collaboration,
Okay.
which will start sometimes next year. But God willing, Tanvi becomes successful, it gets its money back, we will be encouraged to give films to a lot of newcomers and we will produce those films. So for that, we have 5-6 scripts. One we are going into making in September.
A lot of newcomers will be watching you in this interview. Can you tell us, Mr. Kher, has it become more difficult to finance a movie in India? With the project.
I think this is a worldwide problem.
Okay.
My take on this is that why should life be easy? I think Tanvi the Great hopefully will be great because of the way we have gone about it. You will read that all in the book. How 1 month before the film was to go on set and 250 people were going to Lansdowne and my financier backed out. And I told Herman, my CEO, that we must shoot on the dotted lines, otherwise this film will never be made. So I wrote to some friends abroad, whatever money I had, I put it in and we started shooting. So every day there was a challenge. Kal ki shooting kaise hogi? And we finished a 62 days schedule on time. Before time, for 3 days less. So when you do something where you said, I have nothing to lose. That's a beautiful line by Osho. It says, if you try, you risk failure. If you don't, you ensure it. Maybe because of that, I live in a rented apartment. 10 years back, I decided that I don't want to own a flat or a house. I will stay in a rented apartment. So I have nothing to lose. वो 5 लाख रुपया जो किराया मैं देता हूँ, वो तो मैं कमाई लूँगा अगले बहुत सारे सालों तक. एक गाड़ी है मेरे पास, 2 फ्लोर हैं, 1 फ्लोर है, 2 फ्लोर हैं. स्कूल मेरा चलता है ठीक ठाक. फिल्में बनानी है. And how will I otherwise reinvent myself? It's so boring to be living with a person who does not want to reinvent. And I came to the city of Mumbai on 3rd June 1981 with 37 rupees in my pocket. Today, I'm sitting in Cannes and talking about the world premiere of my film, Tanvi the Great. So kuch bhi ho sakta, anything is possible.
Tanvi the Great is premiering at Cannes. It is an Indian movie for the international audiences,
yes.
Right? The way you put it. And I believe you are then taking it to London
and then
to New York, and audiences in India will have the premiere in July. Tell us a little bit about what this film means to you. It's such an interesting subject that you've taken, I believe, not really looked at as often and as closely for the Indian audiences. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's personal to me in a way. The person Tanvi is real, the story is not. Story is fictional.
Okay. The person is real, story is not.
Story is not. And I wanted to make a film which is engaging, which is entertaining, which celebrates life, and which also talks about something which is very, very important, which you will get to see in the film. I wanted it to be a musical, but not like a Bollywood musical. With all my love for Bollywood, I've done so many films like that. But I stayed in New York for 3 years. I've done international films. I have always felt that we should have a larger than life modern India's film for international audiences.
Okay.
I don't pass a judgment on people who make films about India which are about what is not happening in India, whether it's poverty of India, the slums of India, which is fine. That's also part of it. But also flourishing India is also part of it. So, and I always knew that for Tanvi, I will need a new girl because people should not know. People should move with her. They should discover, like it happened. This is her Saransh. Because in Saransh, it was a 28-year-old man playing a 65-year-old person. Over here, she's playing her age, but the character is completely different. I'm doing all this since it's self-financed and we have 9 producers on it. It's like almost like crowdfunding, and I'm thankful to NFDC, National Film Development Corporation of India, for being part of our team and producing it with us. But making a great film or good film is not sufficient. You have to get the audiences at the end of it in the theatre. So I have not sold my OTT rights as yet.
Okay.
Because it's made for cinema. It's not sounding boastful or something, but like Sound of Music, you call it a musical. Life is Beautiful, you call it a larger than life film. So it's a Indian film for the international audiences because the central point of the film is about goodness. Is about because Tanvi does not know anything else but goodness. Tanvi does not know manipulation. Tanvi changes the lives of people who come in her life, who are given up on life, who are brooding, who are different. But she, by coming into the life, changes them.
At 70, you're aging backwards, super fit, full of energy, and many firsts. You walk the red carpet for the first time. You have another project coming up. What keeps you going?
Optimism, life, going back to where I started from. I'm always thankful to what God has given me, what life has given me, what this film industry has given me. When you are in a thankful mode, you only celebrate life. It's only when you are thinking, मगर इतना तो हो गया, ये कुछ नहीं हो सकता. अब मैं टॉम क्रूज क्यों नहीं हूँ? क्योंकि टॉम क्रूज कल जब रेड कारपेट पे चल रहे थे तो करोड़ों लोग, लाखों लोग टॉम टॉम, और मैं चल रहा था तो मैं देख रहा था मेरे फोटोग्राफर्स कहाँ हैं और मैं अपने उन लोगों के फोटो डाल देता हूँ. I think you don't lie to yourself then life is beautiful. It's your lying. It's your telling yourself and dissatisfied constantly. Means I don't believe in that.
Mr. Kher, thank you so much for this candid interview
Of course.
at Brut.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brut.